everyone, welcome back to another episode of the AVS show, coming straight to you from New York City.
Yeah.
Thank you once again for tuning into our channel. Make sure to subscribe. And after the show, go on Instagram and follow us at the AVS show. And during the show, you can also join in on the conversation by dropping your comments below. Hi, y'all.
Hi.
Hey, Charlie.
All right, so I really want us to talk about this topic because there's so much gag in it, all right? All right, so a while ago, Ghanaian soccer player Asamoah Gyan filed for divorce. But what has everybody talking was the fact that he asked for paternity tests from his wife about his kids.
How many kids do they have?
They have 3 kids together.
Wow.
Beautiful kids together. And they've been, married for a while. It's okay for, people get divorced all the time. But what has everybody talking was the fact that he's asking for DNA. He's asking for proof. Are these my kids? So I wanted to ask you guys if it's okay for people to ask for paternity tests.
Well, it depends on why they broke up, right? It's probably, did she cheat on him? Because when cheating is a factor, that's when you start asking for DNA testing, right?
Okay.
So I think that maybe, I don't know if she cheated on him. I don't know what the storyline was to the breakup. But I think he's in his right. Is on his own right, but I think that sometimes the courts, even if your DNA doesn't match the kids, if the kid has been in your life, you still have to pay. So it doesn't matter, because then you still make you pay because you have been the father, you have accepted the child, so you still got to pay till the child get 18. So that's the shame about it. So, but I think he has every right, if he has a feeling about it, to ask about it, and I think it's going to be devastating if this is not his kids, though. Because, that hits you, because when you bring up a child, and that's your child, you are proud and everything, you find out that, another man don't father your child. What do you think? I mean, but it's just about that. It also is an ego thing. A lot of things that get us mad is our egos. Now, as a man, now you have gone and junked out 3 other men and had children and say they're mine. It's a problem.
Okay.
I feel like, given no situation, DNA paternity testing should be mandatory in this day and age. I don't care whether you cheated or you guys started dating when you were 10 years old. I feel like in this day and age, paternity testing should be a part of the protocol of childbirth and everything in the hospital to confirm the child is yours. Let's just do it. Because if I have a right to know your HIV status, you have a right to know my HIV status.
Yes.
So I also have a right to know if that baby is mine from the day the baby is born.
I do
That's
agree
how
with
I see
that.
it.
Okay.
What
I
about
agree
you,
with
Miss
that.
Thing?
Honestly, with the rate at which a lot of families are broken up because of the infidelity, as a result of having these kids in the household, they have I know of a man who has 4 children, and in their 30s, he found out that the kids he sent to great schools, made sure they had the best of the best. None of them were his.
Aye.
The
see?
30s, they were, about to travel. It's always about this coming to America that brings all these issues to light. So I think it's only right for this to happen, to avoid a long-term.
Yes.
Even if it might not even be that. It might not even be that. The lady was
She doesn't have to
cheating.
be. Yeah.
It could be a mistake in the hospital.
Oh,
It could be it could be a mistake in the
Now
hospital.
don't
Some
come again
hospitals.
with an excuse.
No, it could be a mistake in the hospital. At the end of the day, you need to understand that
times.
people that are handling the babies. No, not 3 times. I'm saying
3 times is a child.
not in this case, right? We remember we haven't confirmed that the 3 kids are not his.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, it also helps to stop things like that, like common mistakes in the hospital from happening, where if you have a baby, do the DNA test before the baby leaves out the hospital. Let us know what's going on. So that we know, okay, that's my baby. You didn't give me Mr. Lagbaja's baby, or you didn't give me Okon's baby, or mix it up, or try to give somebody else's baby to me,
Exactly.
So it kind of clarifies things across the board, especially when with our African culture where the mother will come and say, you had a baby girl for him, we want a baby boy, and all that drama. This kind of says, okay, whether it's baby girl or baby boy, it's your son that owns the baby. All right? Even when the mom dies, the paternity test is there to prove that that's the baby, that's the man's child. Because sometimes people will die, and then it's a whole thing where the woman and the children are abandoned because they say, how do we even know the baby is yours? So this clears a lot of things.
It does. It does.
Well, I also think it depends on the situation. Was it a one-night stand? How long were you guys together? Is there marriage going on? What is going on? It depends on the situation. And once you ask for a DNA test, just know that the relationship moving forward will never be the same.
Absolutely.
It will never be the same. So I'm taking the fact that they are getting divorced. Let's say, they're just chilling, they've been married and everything is going well, and you decided to ask for a DNA test just because it's a bright Tuesday. No, something prompted you to ask for a DNA test.
That's right.
And once you start thinking about all of that, and once you ask for a DNA test, the trust is broken.
Yeah, but
Because if you don't trust me enough to know that,
that's where there's a problem.
hold on. But if you don't trust me enough to know that the babies are yours, I never cheated on you, why are you asking for a DNA test?
So when I meet you, we're having a relationship, and the first time we want to have sex, you ask me to do a HIV test, and I tell you, don't you trust me? You should trust me enough to know that I don't have HIV. Why can't you go with that? Why do you need a test? I don't see a
Because
reason
one is
why
putting somebody in danger and one is not.
Yes, and also what if the child is not mine?
How
I
is
don't
that
see
endangering your life?
People have
because
killed
I'm going to be
themselves
raising
find
someone
that out,
else's
you know.
child.
But that's
It's
not endangering your
my
life.
life, but the knowledge of the fact that I'm going to be raising someone else's child for the next 20 years before I find out is enough to kill me.
Oh
Okay.
my
So
goodness.
let's be real here. I don't know why women always pick offense when it is time to do DNA tests, and then they say, if you're going to ask me, they talked about that in the African Millennials. I watched one of their shows, that if you're going to ask me for a DNA test, then I pick that as an offense. Then
Yeah,
moving forward, we're going to have a problem. Let's do the DNA test on the day the child is born. In fact, it's better to do it that day, not 3 years or 4 years
Exactly,
after.
but
I definitely
if you do
agree
it
with,
that
I was
way.
gonna say I agree with his idea, but I know you guys know about the culture where some men are infertile, they can't have kids, but their mothers bring other guys
Yes.
to procreate with the wife
Right.
to have babies for the husband.
And the husband
that
wouldn't
happens
even
in
know.
Africa. The husband doesn't even know. They're secretly making it because he can't have a baby and don't want to mess up his ego and stuff like that because they've been in a relationship forever, and it's not on the woman, it's on the man. And you know, the guy doesn't want to take fertility tests and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So the mother sometimes
Low
gets involved.
sperm
So in
counts.
that instance, if your mother or your own family have got another woman got another man from somewhere else to have sex with your wife so you could have babies, what happens then?
Yeah.
And you don't know.
That's terrible.
Usually the husband doesn't know.
And then you ask
Yes.
people for DNA test.
Uh-huh.
My sister, in that case, the people that are doing it from the village have died. They have died because if you're covering your shame that you're impotent,
Yes.
and they're trying to make you a man in the society by your mother giving your wife, and you're not saying, no, these are not my children. Yeah, because
No,
you
but
don't
you
have
don't
children.
even know.
You don't
Sometimes
have
these people are not
children.
really educated. These men, they go to the doctor, to fertility clinic. We're trying to have a baby. They don't want to take the excuse that maybe they have a low sperm count and they need to, take some other medications and stuff to work on when to have a baby. Some of them, they don't even go for those counseling. They don't go to fertility clinic. They just keep shooting, and the thing is very short.
very
And blaming
But
the
the wife,
women.
yes,
Yeah.
but the blame it on the women. That why is she not getting pregnant? Why is she not getting pregnant? So because of their ego, the family goes to do it behind their back. The men don't even know that they are impotent. And then the wife finally gets pregnant after 5 years of trying, and they say, God of Elijah has answered
Jesus
us.
has answered.
Not knowing that the woman actually slept with another man.
And the flip side is women that can't have babies go and either adopt, buy babies, or they also, you know what I'm saying, they pretend that they're pregnant for a long time and have a baby, but it's not their baby. So there's so many things that could happen besides infidelity, of course, but there's so many things that could have happened. So we have, if he's going to do that, we have to get to the bottom of the story.
Okay, I
Is
think
it
you guys are
because
also
can't
looking
have
at the
babies?
fact that there's a divorce here. So that means the love is not there anymore. But let's bring it to the point where you really love this woman. You've been with her for a long time, and all of a sudden you are asking for a DNA test. It also depends on how you bring it up. Bring it up with care. Bring it, give me a legitimate reason why you want
How
that
do you do
DNA.
that with Coop?
Okay.
So since you're so strong about getting that DNA, what would
would
like
you
a
ask?
real reason be?
Example.
At birth, it's better at birth. After 4 or 5 years, if you ask for DNA test, that's totally
No, but
not
Timani-
right. Because something has to be wrong. Maybe
Even
she has cheated
at
or
birth,
something.
what are you trying to prove? What is your point?
So if
I
if-
feel
hold on.
I feel like it should even be a legal system because it's going to even help the whole country or nation in terms of genome, genetic combination, to world population. Name it whatever it is. I feel like it's necessary that when two couples are married, just the way they go for marriage counseling, go for this, go for HIV
Blood
test,
test.
check their blood and check their genotype to see if they match, if it's AS or AS or
do
SS.
that.
But they
and
do-
you have
they
sickle
do all
cell.
of
Wait.
those things.
If you do those things medically and both of you have sickle cell and you're going to bring a child into this world that is going to suffer with the sickle cell anemia and the child is not going to be healthy, the child is going to be having crisis for the rest of his life, they always advise you guys not to mate, not to have a child because you're going to bring a wrong child into this world, right?
Not the
So-
wrong child. Don't say
No.
that.
Okay, God forgive me.
See,
Not
they
a
do all
wrong
of those
child. A
things.
child is going to have a medical problem. So if that is the case, what's the problem if DNA testing is necessary when your wife is pregnant and you want to know whose child it is? Recently, maybe some people don't watch Love and Hip Hop. There was this guy they call
sure
A1. A1 and his girlfriend.
checked, yes.
He actually checked,
And
and
you
she
know why
wasn't offended.
A1 checked though? A1 checked
Well,
because
because
there was
she cheated, though.
rumors about
Yeah.
his wife cheated,
And he
right?
was cheating
All
too.
those things that you mentioned, they are held to reason. I'm asking you, what is the reason why you want to know whether the boy or the girl is yours, the child is yours? What is the reason? You still haven't given me a
you would
reason.
psychologically be prepared to
Wait,
raise
did you
your
psychologically
own
prepare when you were having
child.
sex with her? Did you psychologically prepare all of that?
No, that's a different situation because you're having sex because you want to have a child. Yes, you want that child to be yours. So you want to know that that child is really yours so that you're going to give the child 100% love and care. These days, nobody only look alike.
And who's paying?
You can have a child that is not yours that will still look like you.
Who's paying?
Uh-huh.
Who's paying?
It's possible.
Who's paying
Who's
what?
paying for the DNA test?
It's not that expensive. Come
Okay,
Okay, let me now
not
say
to
something.
you. So let's talk about somebody in the village trying to get a DNA test for 5-10 kids. Okay, who is no seriously? Let's
5
talk.
or 10.
Our audience are in. Who's paying? You know, you have to factor all of those things. You know, in that decision. Once you ask for DNA test, it's like them asking you for a lie detector test just because. Just because. And how would you feel about that?
So Charlie, you had asked
I'll
the question.
do the test now. If I
You
lie,
asked
I
the-
lie.
You asked the question. You said that how do you tell your partner after you've gotten married and you've had your kid for a while? How do you tell your partner that you want a DNA test? I mentioned something earlier. I said that I said something about the family you passing on if you're from a family that has issues. That can be a medium to actually present the issue to your wife. Right?
That's a good
In
one.
which you have family, there are families that have like fracas going on in there where if somebody dies, it's a whole madness.
Drama.
They start to, especially when you're wealthier, you've acquired wealth, they will deny everything, deny you down to the child that they know for a fact is yours. So you can tell your wife, okay, babe, I know that that's my baby. You know that that's my baby, but guess what? We need to put this on paper so that in the event that God forbid something happens to me,
Smart
you
one.
have this to prove that.
That's a good way to walk
That
it
you
in.
can't even tell
Just
them. They
get
can't tell you
censored.
nothing when you
So
put
that
it forward.
scenario works for rich people. Let's come back to
Even
the
for poor people, the DNA is not that expensive. It's not as
It's not
expensive as you think it
expensive.
is. Even
I know
for
they have
peop-
DNA
even-
kits where you can swipe
Yeah,
and all of
even
that.
for people that can't afford to do too much, let her know. That would give her a sense. She will have it behind the back of her mind. Okay, you know what? He's trying to do this for my own good and for the good of my children. It's not as if he doesn't trust me. It might be that you don't trust her. But it's a good way to present it in such a way that it won't cause problems in the household. It won't disrupt the peace. So now she knows, okay, he wants that for me. My children will benefit from that. Before you say anything, they'll be like, oh, you know what? I have my proof that my babies are his. Your point is 99.999%
Yeah.
proof that that's my baby
Yeah.
daddy.
So, but that's a good
It's like a
condition.
prenuptial
It's like
agreement.
I wanted to
It's
talk about
kind of
prenup
it's going
just
to be like
now.
the new prenuptial
Right.
agreement.
You did tap
We're
my
going to
brain.
sign a DNA thing because if you do a prenup, meaning about assets, then you can do it with DNA and say, okay, now we're going to test. That could be part of it. And if the person is not agreeing to that, then maybe we shouldn't go on.
There's a problem.
Because there's a problem. Because why would you say no if it was really my child? You would say there will be only one reason why you would say no if it's not my child.
No, it can be because why you asking
Like you don't
that?
trust
I mean,
me.
No, but we're
If
talking
it's my
about
child,
prenup now. We're talking
yeah.
about prenup. Like some couples decide to sign a prenup, and that's a very sensitive thing. Like, why are we signing a prenup? Which means that we might likely break up. Is that what you're trying to say? And if we sign prenup, we allocate properties and stuff. So if we have kids and kids are involved, we're also going to have to make sure these kids are ours, so we know who gets what. So it's part of the
I
whole
think
process.
when people are making this decision, you have to also know that it will affect the children. It can affect the
will.
children, right?
That is true.
You know, how would you even have that conversation with, let's say, like a 12-year-old? Oh, guess what? Your daddy thinks that you're not his, so he wants a DNA test.
why would you
How
bring
would
it
you
to the
involve
baby?
your child
No,
into
you
it?
have to tell your
You don't have to bring
children.
it up to
No,
the
you don't have
child.
to.
Also, now we're
Until-
going to lie to our children and just
No,
swipe
no,
that.
it's not
They
lying.
don't need to know until after
It's
you
a
have
need to
done the
know
whole
basis.
test.
It's on a need to know.
Because if you're already
So,
feeling
okay.
offended like that as a woman,
Imagine
and
what the child will be going through.
Exactly.
The
That means
children
you're
have
already
to
trying
know.
to make
What
the
are you
child
guys
be
talking
against the
about?
dad.
No.
Okay, so let's find out that maybe Asamoah Gyan will go back, right? We have other pictures as well. Asamoah Gyan will go back to the kids and be like, oh, we did the DNA test and you are not mine. Then that relationship is going to change.
Well, but they're not his.
Because so then it would affect the children as well.
Yeah.
You've raised these kids as if they were your own. They are your own.
But
Yeah.
there are
When
lots of
you raise
instances-
children they are your
They are your
own.
own,
There are
yeah.
other
I
So how
instances
can you
where
get
they don't
turned
even
back on these kids You're a
But
wicked
there's
man.
That
there's
instance
been a
where
lot
he's
of
not a-
fathers. There's
where
been a lot
they
of people
don't
that have
even do
gotten
anything on
DNA
it.
testing and the child hasn't tested it, but they still take care of the
Yes.
child. Because
Yes.
a bond is created, love is already there.
Already.
So they are still there. It's like adopting a child now,
Right.
right? It becomes an adoption kind of situation, but it's still your child. People really sometimes it hurts like hell, I know. But some guys and some guys are always willing, just like when a guy cheats on a woman and they're married, and then the child comes into the home and starts to live with the family, and she takes care of the child.
Oh, what
it
kind of example is
happens.
that?
It happens. So think about it. I mean, like love still happens. It doesn't always go left.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
sometimes it works out because there's already a bond. A child, besides, like they say, a village raises a child. When you raise the child, it's your child. Irregardless.
I don't know.
And I think sometimes these kids, not child's choice. These kids have a right to know who
Yes.
their real parents are, not yes to what you're saying. Because it arouses curiosity over time. No matter how much love they get from the non-father, they still want to know who their real father is.
That's when they get to a certain
No,
age where
I'll
they
be
feel like you
offended.
can
I'm
take
sorry.
it.
It might not be wrong, but it's very offensive. Listen, I can imagine my dad being like, Charlie, you're different. I want to know if you're mine. Let's have a deal. Like it's
You
I'm
gag.
I'm gonna be like it's gonna hurt. I have a question for you too, though. How would you feel if your partners did the DNA test behind your back?
It's happened.
I mean, I
Behind
wouldn't
your
mind.
back?
I mean, it's just what it is. I mean, if they did
And when
it,
you find out, you just
when I find,
okay.
I'm like, it's whatever. I'm like, child, you were shooting blanks. I had to do something.
Oh, wait. Okay, so
No,
that
like,
was
no, think about it real
what I'm saying
good.
is
Think
like-
about it real
Wait,
good.
that's if you find
behind
out.
your back.
Like if you find out
Like
that
he
your
didn't
child
even
is
let
not
you
his.
know.
But he said he'll let me know after he finds out,
No,
right?
after the DNA test, and
Yes,
because
everything.
Same as Love and Hip Hop,
Yeah.
Kirk did
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Kirk did that from Love and
Yeah.
Hip Hop. Swipe the little baby, behind the wife's back. How would you feel? What does that? What is that message? What is
It
that?
just means that he doesn't
Trust
trust you.
Yeah.
It lies on trust. But my thing is, if you don't trust me, fine. You did what you needed to do. Fine. You came to me and said, babe, I did this because I felt like I didn't know how you would react.
I've been talking to Musa on the phone too long.
I didn't know how you would react, if I told you that I wanted to get this done. So I went behind your back and I got it done just to prove a point. Now your delivery matters. Just to prove a point. If you come at me and say, oh, because I don't trust you, and then, the house is coming down, we're burning everything, including your sheets, everything is going up in flames. But if you
Even
come
the
at me
baby?
and be like, well, I didn't know how to tell you that there's been some things I wanted to clarify the air with my mom. Just take it to your village, with my mother, my family.
The village cat.
Don't come at me and say because you don't trust me. Because
Yeah.
that will be it will never end. Because the child is a living proof of that. So no matter how long, I get mad or I decide to stop getting mad, every time I see that child, I'm like, oh, so this guy really did not trust me enough to know that this child is his, right? But if you tell me, oh, because I wanted to prove my mom wrong about something, I wanted to send the paperwork back, that's why I did what I did, and I know if I come to you to tell you, you'll get mad, so I decided to do it behind your back, but guess what? I know, I believe you, I trust you, and now she does too. That's the end of the conversation. I know you did that, and I know that that's not the reason why you did it. But because you told me that, I'll take it.
So
I'll run with that.
you're actually giving this man clues to lie. You are
But
giving them too much information.
have you guys heard this saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it?
That's
If a
it.
family is going on, like everybody's happy in the family, the dad is doing his part, the mother is doing this part, the kids are amazing, successful, why?
Because enemy
Why
of
none of
progress.
that? Why-
Enemy
because-
of
why-
progress.
Because when that child becomes the president, now the real father and the real mother, you come out from the woodworks and come and start saying, well, 27 years ago, I met your
I
daughter,
donated my
I met your
sperm.
wife in an alleyway, and something happened after that one night stand. Well, let's just say that 9 months later, I found out that she had a baby.
Wow.
But that, the child always sticks to the people that,
Raised
raised
them.
You
them,
think
though.
so?
Sometimes
Yeah,
the
because
kids-
it
yeah,
happens
but
like it's
sometimes
like that.
It won't stop the creepers from coming out, though. It won't stop them from coming out to claim what is not there.
The
even
same way
though they
that
never
Bill
contributed.
Clinton has a black son and he not claim him.
Yes.
So he's not claiming that
Jay-Z
child.
allegedly.
You have to claim it. It's alleged. So
Sip,
it's
sip.
alleged. So what's happening? The boy look like him, talk like him, but he said Bill and Hillary have denied it to Kingdom Come.
Yes.
So it happens.
It happens. So I want to go back to Timani's point. You said we should make it mandatory. Do you guys agree with that, or we should just make it a choice?
I
At
think
birth.
it should be part right at birth.
Or not really
Right
like,
in the
not
hospital.
really, no, it shouldn't really like maybe mandatory, but
Okay.
it should be
Now you
an
just switch your
option.
question.
Like at birth, when you're trying to get when you have a baby, the
not a-
Hold on, let me-
certificate and everything, it should be a choice. Do you want to do DNA testing? Yes or no? Yes or no? So
You
it's
asked
your
that
choice.
question. I want to know from you.
Yeah.
What do you think? It's
I think it should be mandatory, just
Okay.
like I think like we do blood testing to see if they blood test you before you get married. So I think it should be mandatory so
Yeah.
that we can
wait,
stop.
who blood test you before you get married?
Yeah, you have to get a blood test to do if you're A, A positive,
Yeah,
whatever.
if your-
so you
if
don't have the
your
sickle
genotypes,
cell. You
if
do
the
everything matches
combinations
well.
work.
Everybody,
No.
before you get you have to get
It's not
blood
But it's not
mandatory.
mandatory.
It's
It's
you have
your
to get blood
choice.
testing.
No.
You
It's your
have
choice.
to. Well, you have to get blood testing.
Are you sure?
Yeah, look it up now.
It's your
No.
choice.
I think as
People
couples,
run away
right?
and get married in. It's not mandatory. People run away and get married in Las Vegas all the time. People run away and do all sorts of
Dubai.
things. It's not mandatory.
I think as couples, they should come to when you go for all this couple counseling and all these things
Yes.
that you do to make sure that you're on the right path. I think it's part of the conversation you
Therapy.
should have.
You should
Yes.
tell them
Right?
to counsel.
That in other it should be part of the conversation you
pastor.
have regarding your children and to avoid avoid having this infidelity or
hazards.
exactly as part of the reasons why your relationship or your marriage won't work. You should put that in there that we should actually do the DNA testing so that you keep doing. It's true.
At birth. If you
It
do
is
it at
true.
birth, it's
That
better.
way
If you do it at
that way
birth,
it doesn't
you're not
have
hurting
any-
anybody.
It doesn't have any it's a one and done. Okay, you did. You
Stop
have the
saying
baby.
you're not gonna hurt
If you do
anybody.
it at
Somebody's
birth.
gonna get
But
hurt.
the same way that when a woman is pregnant and everything, and in the hospital they do HIV testing to make sure the baby is
Right,
that
that's so.
thing. So think like it's
They
just
actually,
part
they
of
actually
it.
do DNA tests sometimes with babies in the womb.
Yeah, they do that.
So
yeah.
they just do the one and done.
just
Get
part
it
of
over
it.
with. Let them just know, okay, you've done. It's your baby. If it's not your baby, you can have that talk while she's still pregnant. So
Exactly.
as soon as she has the baby,
yeah, start
conversation
coughing.
can ensue regarding the fact that that baby is not yours, as opposed to having the baby, because that way the baby doesn't get caught in the crossfire.
Yes.
Do you understand what I'm saying? As opposed to the baby getting older and then finding out that, oh, this man, Charlie, is not my father. What the hell happened?
Charlie
then
is
you
not
have to,
my
you have to
father.
explain yourself.
I'm just saying a lot
Charlie,
of these
you
men
have
out
babies?
here.
Are you not
want-
claiming your babies?
I don't have any babies out there. A lot of these men out there that I know of.
Okay.
A lot of these men out here want the DNA testing because they want to start paying child support.
Yeah.
They want, they've been paying it to the wrong babies and they want to start paying child support. I just hope that they have the same energy
Yes.
when they're trying to bag these girls, when they're trying to sleep with them. Have that same energy. Test HIV. Test for STDs. Test other things.
Listen, Charlie just spoke the news.
Okay? That way mistakes like this don't happen. But
Absolutely.
as someone, we wish you all the best in your DNA testing. But it would just suck for the kids. I'm just like,
It's
that's
hard.
just
It's
it.
hard. That's who is hurt the most. Is
That's
the
what
child.
Debbie's talking
It's
about.
not-
To
it's not
avoid
about
that
the
crossfire
parents.
issue, just do it at birth.
That way, nobody
Boom.
gets caught. Nobody gets caught.
And they
in
go
the
to school, they're like, why didn't your
messiness.
daddy drop you off today?
He's on
He's
vacation.
not my daddy
He's not my
anymore.
father. He's not the father.
Yeah, you,
are not the
the
father.
father. People hate raising the wrong babies. Have you seen those memes and funny videos
Yeah.
on YouTube when people go like, "You're my daddy"? They're like, "Huh? I am not your father.
Not your father.
I am not your father." All right, please leave a message below in the comment section. Let us know in the comments your thought on this topic. Would you ever have a DNA test, a paternity test? All right, let us know. We love you for watching. Until next time, you're watching the AVS show. This is Minatv.
Bye.
Thanks for watching, and if you liked this episode, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. See you next time.